Hi guys, my name is Alona. I'm Vedic astrologer, also doing the tarot cards, and as well I'm interested in the psychology. So today I would love to talk about the association and about the NLP. It's called like neuro linguist. I don't know how to say it as well. Linguistic, yeah. Neuro-linguistic programming. Sorry if my English is not very good as well. So today I would love to talk about that. Usually I'm always talking about the kind of psychology topic in the Russian language, and about tarot cards, about the astrology same as well. But today I would love to talk about this narrow programming. So how it's usually working, how you can manipulate with the people, how you can make someone to be into in you, to be interesting in you, how you can make someone really like you. So what usually you can do with that? And first of all, let's tell to you one thing which usually can work. So you have to know the person in which you usually like. You have to you have to ask someone what you usually like, and you have to talk only about the topic in what usually the person with who you're talking interesting. Okay, you have to talk only about the topic in which the person with who you're talking interesting. So for example, if the person interesting with the topic about the traveling, so you're talking only about the traveling. So, and you're asking a person, where have you been? Where have you been traveling before? In which country you have been traveling before? And the person telling to you, okay, I have been traveling, for example, into London, I have been traveling into Venice, I have been traveling into Italy, so I have been traveling in, wow, and telling to him, okay, wow, in which city in Italy you have been traveling before? And the person telling to you, like, for example, I have been traveling in the Neapol, I have been traveling in the Rome, and you're telling to him, okay, wow, and how it was in the Rome, where exactly have you been traveling in the Rome? So I'm really interested in that. I would love to know. I would love to travel in there too as well. Or maybe you can lie to this person. Okay, wow, I have been traveling there as well too, and but before, of course, you have to know a little information about the Rome. If you hadn't been before in the Rome, if you hadn't been traveling before there as well, so you have to get information about that. So if you want to lie, so you have to prepare for that before. And as well, the second thing, you have to know about the person. Like, you have to ask a person what's usually new for you. What, for example, have you been in this attraction? Have you been in that park? And if the person tells you, oh no, I never did been there, I never didn't do this, so you have to take that person by the hand, and you have to go in this new stuff for that person. So, and the best thing, if the person really will like something new for himself or for herself, so you always will associate with that thing. Okay, and the person always will memorize about that new thing in their own life, and you always will associate with that as well. So the person will always think about you, think again, and it's always can progress him or herself to make like you. Okay, so that person will really into you, will think about you, and will like you as well, and maybe will fall in love as well. Have to make by NLP make a person really falling in love with you. Well, this works much more simple. Well, for example, the third thing, you can, for example, forget your stuff in the home of that person, in the house of that person. For example, you can forget your mirror, or you can forget your jacket, whatever is that. You can just forget in that person's house, and the person will just look at this thing and will always memorize about you, will always remember about you. So it will associate it. Or maybe you can gift, like you can represent, or you can just give to someone like a gift, and like maybe small gift, something interesting, and the person will look at this gift and always will remember about you, will memorize about you. So this is NLP, how NLP is working. And okay, number four, what usually can do as well too, you can manipulate. It's not like to make person like you. It's like the second step. It's like to make person falling in love with you. Okay, you can do like that. For example, as you know, a person, everyone like to talk only about him or only about herself, and everyone, especially if you're talking about the weak personality, really depended on the world, really depend on what another people talking about him, what another people thinking about him or about her, if whatever, if we're talking about gender. Okay, so and if you're talking with the person and talking about the person only about the good things, like you always giving the compliments, you always support that person, and you always tell the person, okay, you're very nice, I'm very like you, oh wow, you had been traveling there, I would love to travel there as well too. You're only talking about that person, and that person even didn't usually think about these things, but this person start to depend on you. So because you're thinking only about good, you're talking about only which person usually want to talk about. You're talking about the topic which usually interesting to him or interesting to her, and that person start to remember about you, start to memorize you. So you like a feed fish. Okay, you like feed him or like feed her by the compliments, by the interesting topic which interesting to him or to her, and only by that. For example, you can feed him or feed her 5 or 7 days, and after that, you just stop to talk with that person. So you stop to talk with that person. For example, that person just always remember that you always making initiative, and you always start to communicate. But for example, after 5 days, you not communicate, you not sending like message, oh hello, how are you, you're not calling to that person, and then the person start to worry, like why, what the hell, why he don't calling to me, why she don't calling to me, why we had been talking like 5 days every day, and everything was fine, but now you stop, she stop talking with him, stop communicate with me, why? And that person start to communicate with you first. So that person start to calling to you, start to sending message to you, like hello, and you, what you have to do in that position, you have to tell, short, I'm busy, I cannot talk I can't talk now, and you can tell as well, I can call back to you later, but of course you know never not going to call back later, and person start to worry again, like why he or she that human start really think of you, start always thinking of you, and like you always in her or in his mind. So that's how NLP working. And after that, after 5 days, you coming back again, you start to feed fish again. So you like you start doing the same things like you had been doing before. So you're doing like giving compliments, maybe giving gifts, maybe you support that person, talking only about the topics which interesting to him or to her. So you're doing everything what that person is like. And after that, after 5 days, you stop talking again. You stop communicating, and that person stop to worry again, start to memorize you, start to communicate with you first. And after that, after 5 days, and you'll, of course, you're telling to the person that you're busy, you cannot call, and you usually don't call back after, if you promised, you're not calling back. And after that, after 5 days, you start to talk with that person again, and that person, of course, will fall in love with you, because that person always had been thinking of you. And that's how the brain is work like. You had been thinking about that person, and you start to falling in love with the person. So that's all what I want to say today. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I hope this was really useful for you, and you can use this NLP program for yourself. Okay, that's all. See you in the next video. Bye for now.